Your link with the unmanifested. What is the relationship between presence and the inner body? Presence is pure consciousness. Consciousness that has been reclaimed from the mind, from the world of form. The inner body is your link with the unmanifested, and in its deepest aspect is the unmanifested, the source from which consciousness emanates as light emanates from the sun. Awareness of the inner body is consciousness remembering its origin and returning to the source. Is the unmanifested the same as being? Yes. The word unmanifested attempts by way of negation to express that which cannot be spoken, thought, or imagined. It points to what is by saying what it is not. Being, on the other hand, is a positive term. Please don't get attached to either of these words or start believing in them. They are no more than signposts. You said that presence is consciousness that has been reclaimed from the mind. Who does the reclaiming? You do. But since in your essence you are consciousness, we might as well say that it is an awakening of consciousness from the dream of form. This does not mean that your own form will instantly vanish in an explosion of light. You can continue in your present form, yet be aware of the formless and deathless deep within you. I must admit that this is way beyond my comprehension, and yet on some deeper level, I seem to know what you're talking about. It's more like a feeling than anything else. Am I deceiving myself? No, you're not. Feeling will get you closer to the truth of who you are than thinking. I cannot tell you anything that deep within you don't already know. When you have reached a certain stage of inner connectedness, you recognize the truth when you hear it. If you haven't reached that stage yet, the practice of body awareness will bring about the deepening that is necessary. So it is talking about who you truly are and what is one of the main purposes of the soul on School of Earth is to get back to that metaphysical world. Now, in order to get back to that metaphysical world, we need to first conquer the mind. And then once we have conquered the mind or stilled the mind, then you get this realization for which we've been doing so many exercises, that you are actually not your mind. So then the mind does not interfere. So that means you are able to clearly distinguish what is it that the mind is doing, because जो mind करता है, it all will be in the form of thoughts. But what is it that you truly feel as a soul is what you feel in terms of the emotions. So those feelings are of the soul. So all thoughts are of the mind and all feelings are of the soul. Since the soul is so subtle that it cannot, remain like this, so it takes in this physical body, this uniform, and stays in that body. But the actual feeling is of the soul. So the distinction between You are not your mind, and then you are not your body. The two, your body is different. It's a uniform given to you. Your mind is different. You can witness the thoughts. Then comes the question, who are you or who am I? You are not your body. So first we follow the law of negation, where we say we are not our mind, we are not our body, we are not this, we are not that. And then we say, and we get to that reality, the fact that we are pure consciousness, we are the awareness. So we are not our body, we are not our mind. And who we are is just pure awareness, just pure witness who is seeing everything. And further along this, in this journey of spirituality, when you get closer to who you actually are and realize that true awareness inside of you and that connection with the source, that is where, things get in such a different tangent of life, that it's only you can experience it to share it, honestly. you know
You mentioned that the thoughts are from
Mind,
the mind, and the emotions are from the soul. But
the
don't
feeling.
the emotions have feelings? Don't they emanate also from the thoughts, which is also linked towards your mind? Then, because it talked about something else also, which was that once you know the feeling, you will know. That's when you have reached that certain stage. So are these feelings that it's talking, which will emanate from thoughts, different from the feelings that it's talking about?
फीलिंग्स है ही सोल की.
But don't they emanate from the thoughts? I mean, from your mind. You have certain thoughts, and because of
Could
that,
be,
you feel
could
certain
be,
way, a
could
certain
be.
way.
Now the
Huh?
same thought can have different feelings for everybody, no? I mean, you are in a state
Yeah.
of joy and still you are feeling like crying.
If it's a positive frame of mind, then you'll have a positive emotion and a positive feeling, but it's still emanating from your mind, right? So how is it from the soul? That's what I was trying to figure out. How is the feeling
Mind,
from the
see,
soul?
that's what I'm saying. Mind cannot feel anything, na? Mind का काम है. Mind
But it's
works with the
created that
five
thought, no?
senses.
It's created that feeling, is what I'm saying.
It can be that it's instigated that feeling. That's
Hmm.
why, see, mind तो हमारे साथ ही रहेगा ना, हम उसको छोड़ थोड़ा सकते हैं. We all we're trying to do is get that body to work for the best of us. But mind only works with the five senses and predominantly is responsible for all the thoughts. उस thoughts के साथ जो हम feelings attach कर रहे हैं, that is where the feelings are coming from the soul. See, at the end of the day, body, mind, and soul, holistic healing or holistic approach says all three need to be connected. But then all three are different. You're mute. You're mute on.
No, I've followed a little bit, but I've not got the whole thing, because I'm just saying that the feelings that you're having are not coming directly from your soul. They're coming through your mind, because your mind is
Feelings are
emanating and
being
starting those.
experienced by the soul through the body.
So if you're in a good frame of mind, you'll have positive, emotions, feelings. And if you're not, you may not have positive. You may feel anger, you may feel pain,
See,
but
feelings
that's
में
from
तो
the
सारा
soul, but not
सारा
from your
feeling
mind
chart
then.
आएगा ना. Above the line, below the line, they're all part of feelings.
But how is that coming directly from the soul? It's coming from your mind.
But it has been experienced by the soul.
Experienced by this. Oh.
So the mind is just creating a thought. उस thought से जो feeling आ रही है, जो body में sensation आती है, you get those goosebumps and all those different kinds of,
Emotion, yeah.
reactions.
Feeling.
They are being felt by the soul. Mind को कोई emotion से लेना देना नहीं है. वो तो अपना काम करता रहेगा ना. So the emotions in the body are actually not felt by the body, but they are actually felt by the soul. But since the soul is so subtle, it needs that body to experience that. So थॉट माइंड से आता है, जो फीलिंग्स उससे जनरेट होती है, इमोशन जनरेट होता है, दैट इज फेल्ट बाय द सोल. नाउ इन दिस एंटायर प्रोसेस, where we are on this journey of self-realization. Self-realization, मैंने तो बोल दिया, like, it's a you are true awareness, but then that is just a knowledge, just a fact. In order to experience that, there is a lot of practice, because हमारा माइंड के साथ एसोसिएशन और बॉडी के साथ एसोसिएशन इतना स्ट्रांग है इन टर्म्स ऑफ आवर कंडीशनिंग, द प्रोग्रामिंग, कि हम अभी उस चीज से ही नहीं निकल रहे. If somebody tells me who am I, and I say, oh, this is not me, this is my body, तो the other person says, भैया कोई मेंटल हॉस्पिटल वाला बुलाओ, इसको तो भेज दो, सटिया गया है. So then that is where the experience and the practice comes in, where you go on that journey within to actually connect with that source within. And once you do that, see, you will get glimpses of it, but once you're truly connected with that source, and then the mind is still, the mind कोई आपको disturb नहीं कर रहा है, and you are in that presence, in that pure consciousness at play, where everything is happening and there is no questioning of why this or why not this, but there is only acknowledgement and acceptance for whatever is as it is. So isko experience karne ke liye, yes, a lot of practice is required. Very easy to read it, very easy to explain it. Yes, experience, practice, that's the major part. Yeah, Supriya, you had a question.
Yeah, but Arjun, my understanding was that, taking from Om's question further, that the soul's true nature is joy and love, right? Only the two above the line feelings, right? Joy and love. So is it that the feelings are for the soul, meaning it is for the soul to experience them and then realize and the
See, true nature is
Because-
different, but the soul is here for all experiences. Na?
yeah, the soul is here for experiences, but that doesn't define the soul, right? What the feeling the soul is experiencing.
Supriya, I'll tell you one basic thing. There is always something known as an ideal thing, like soul ka ideal purpose is love and compassion. But then there is a practical journey towards that. Na? एकदम से सारा love and compassion तो नहीं आएगा. So it is going to happen gradually, where you will experience. Now, for example, the soul in this lifetime on this school of earth is here to experience misery. Okay, so he will get on to a very lavish style, going by earth is going to teach you in duality, and suddenly lose everything and experience the misery. So there has to be love, and see, love and compassion is where there is nothing negative in it. When you are connected with that source and when you're clear and you accept that oneness, then it's okay. Na? Aapko misery bhi ho rahi, you're okay. You're not complaining about it. Na? Yeah, Dhapa.
So, Arjun, just practically speaking on this, if say you go to a casino and you take a deal in cards, and you win. So what do? So you took a decision, your mind took a decision, and you win, and then you experience, your soul experiences joy and happiness through your body, and then your mind probably tells you to up the stakes, maybe because you're winning and it's going well. So you up the stakes and you keep upping it till you lose. And when you lose, your body, your soul experiences sadness and, loss of, negative things, loss because of greed and, such things. So my question is, those feelings which you get, happiness and then sadness and then the greed, so mind has nothing to do with these feelings, or is it mind is directing you to take up the stakes because of those feelings, the joy and the happiness which the soul is experiences experiencing, and is there a connection which the soul tells the mind that okay, you can up the stakes, or the mind then takes over, the egoistic mind takes over and you up the stakes automatically? I mean, is there a connection between the two?
Not exactly, but yes. I mean, it's both ways. See, माइंड का काम क्या है? माइंड को हमने इतनी इंपॉर्टेंस दे दी है कि भैया तू तो मैं हूं, तो उसके अंदर ईगो आ गई है. सो ईगो वांट्स अटेंशन, चाहे वो पेन से आए चाहे वो प्लेजर से आए. स्टेक बढ़ा दिए, लोग देख रहे हो, देखो यार उसने कितना कर दिया, उसको अटेंशन चाहिए. हार जीत से उसको कोई लेना देना. ओके, नाउ in this entire thing, your karma and your destiny comes into picture. See, a lot of times when you're playing card or you're in casino, there are times where you have been dealt an excellent hand, but you still lose. And there are times where you've been dealt a very average hand, but with whatever tricks or whatever, you're bluffing and everything, you can still win the game. So then the destiny is at play. So if it's the destiny to not win, तो वो कहीं ना कहीं ग्रीड ब्रूड सब कुछ आएगा. सो माइंड को खाली अटेंशन चाहिए, सोल को एक्सपीरियंस चाहिए, but at the end of the day, what is your karma, what is your destiny, that is going to be shaping each and everything that is going to unfold in your life. So yes,
Right.
partially yes, partially no.
No, thanks. Wonderful. Thank you.
Slowing down the aging process. In the meantime, awareness of the inner body has other benefits in the physical realm. One of them is a significant slowing down of the aging of the physical body. Whereas the outer body normally appears to grow old and wither fairly quickly, the inner body does not change with time, except that you may feel it more deeply and become it more fully. If you're 20 years old now, the energy field of your inner body will feel just the same when you are 80. It will be just as vibrantly alive. As soon as your habitual state changes from being out of the body and trapped in your mind and being in the body and present in the now, your physical body will feel lighter, clearer, more alive. As there is more consciousness in the body, its molecular structure actually becomes less dense. More consciousness means a lessening of the illusion of materiality. When you become identified more with the timeless inner body than within the outer body, when presence becomes your normal mode of consciousness and past and future no longer dominate your attention, you do not accumulate time anymore in your psyche and in the cells of your body. The accumulation of time as the psychological burden of past and future greatly impairs the cell's capacity for self-renewal. So if you inhibit the inner body, the outer body will grow old at much slower rate, and even when it does, your timeless essence will shine through the outer form and you will not give the appearance of an old person. Is there any scientific evidence for this? Try it out and you will be the evidence. So, when the mind is not at play and we are connected with the inner body through our outer body, so inner body is all the time alive, because उसमें कहीं ना कहीं कोई भी कंडीशनिंग या कोई भी belief systems का असर नहीं होता. So it's all the time very very vibrant. Whereas outer body में जितने भी हमारे ट्रॉमास होते हैं या हमारे इनर चाइल्ड्स होते हैं या इवेंट्स होते हैं, दे ऑल गेट स्टोर्ड इन द आउटर बॉडी. सो दैट इज व्हाई आउटर बॉडी की एजिंग जो है वो डिफरेंट होती है देन द इनर बॉडी. You will see a lot of people who are probably 60 but don't even look like 40. They look 40 but they're actually 60. And you'll see people who are nearly 50 but look like 80. So their outer body is in a different sphere. So connection में जब हम inner body पे concentrate करते हैं, and when we start working on this journey which is within ourselves, it's a journey inside of us, inside the inner body, connection with the inner body, connection with the true source, you can actually slow down your aging process. चाहे उसमें आप breath work करते हो, because see, in this there's a lot of meditation, there is a lot of breath work involved, and as we know, we are all born with a limited number of breaths. In order to enhance your longevity, you need to basically work with your breath. So you still have live examples of people in the Himalayan mountains who are 152 years of age. And yes, coming Treta Yug 2029, the average age is going to increase from 100 to 150. That's already happening. The average lifespan has been increasing year on year, or every 10 years. If you see, it's increased from say 47, 50, about 50 years back, is somewhere around 65, 70, 72. So that's already increases. So slowly and steadily, once we get control and start this journey and start this making this connection with our inner body, the aging is definitely going to push it towards a higher figure. I mean, if you want, you can actually slow down your age by just being connected with your inner body and be that vibrant self which is there inside of you. Strengthening the immune system. Another benefit of this practice in the physical realm is a great strengthening of the immune system, which occurs when you inhabit the body. The more consciousness you bring into the body, the stronger the immune system becomes. It is as if every cell awakens and rejoices. The body loves your attention. It is also a potent form of self-healing. Most illnesses creep in when you're not present in the body. If the master is not present in the house, all kinds of shady characters will take up residence there. When you inhabit your body, it will be hard for unwanted guests to enter. It is not only your physical immune system that becomes strengthened, your psychic immune system is greatly enhanced as well. The latter protects you from the negative mental emotional force fields of others, which are highly contagious. Inhibiting the body protects you not by putting up a shield, but by raising the frequency vibration of your total energy field, so that anything that vibrates at a lower frequency, such as fear, anger, depression, and so on, now exists in what is virtually a different order of reality. It doesn't enter your field of consciousness anymore, or if it does not, or if it does, you don't need to offer any resistance to it because it passes right through you. Please just don't Please don't just accept or reject what I'm saying. Put it to test. So I have a small question to everybody who's being with us in this, book reading. It's going to be nearly a year or so, I think. We started our first book in May, so it's nearly May. So we've done about 5 or 6 books. What is the difference now? What you feel in your vibrational frequency from a year before? पहले एक साल पहले, before these book reading sessions, what do you think was your vibrational frequency, and what it is now after 1 year of whatever we are doing. Say we are reading books or we're doing some other courses or whatever. All these efforts are nothing but our conscious effort to increase our vibrational frequency. Because in spirituality and in general, right now, everybody is moving towards increasing their vibrational frequency, because the frequency of Earth revolving around its axis, measured by Schumann resonance, has actually doubled in the last 20 years and is expected to increase from 13.9 in 2018 to nearly 21 in 2028. So the Earth is moving faster. So everybody is getting into more of spirituality these days, getting into all kinds of efforts to raise their vibrational frequency. So I would request at least one or two people to share their experience, because you see, we've been in this journey for nearly a year. So you will be able to see when you put this in test and see yourself what you were a year before and what you are now in terms of your vibrational frequency. Yeah, anyone?
Maybe ladies first. We have only one lady with us.
Hi.
Easy.
There are so many of them.
Oh
One
yeah,
with the
sorry.
camera on.
Oh yeah. One was the camera on.
So Arjun, I think I'll share what I feel, because last year I think maybe we started it in May and June maybe.
Yeah.
Because I remember May being a tough month for me overall. So June I started with that the first book,
Magic.
I think, which
Magic.
was Magic. Yeah, yeah. So I think I was in a very full of grief, sorrow, depression, and all the dense low below the line emotions and feelings. And yes, overall during the year it has been an uphill downhill for me. uh, 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 but as of, I mean, there have been experiences during this journey of reading books, and also because I was personally also reading up, watching a lot of videos, trying to understand the meaning of life and everything. There have been times when I have had some of these glimpses that you talk about. This has happened to me in the dream state. Even while driving, I've shared a couple of incidences. Uh, but again, it's been momentarily. I mean, it changes, and the mind. I mean, I really need to work on my mind a lot, because my mind takes over very, very quickly, and the chatter of the mind of this, why not that, why this, why that, why, and what if this happens, what if that does take over a lot. But I'm consciously aware of it. So what happens is that even though like a week is tough for me, for example, for various reasons in my mind, something is going on or the other, I try to focus on my breath to try and stay calm, and try and I do these vibrational frequency meditations a lot. Sometimes when I feel that okay,
I
I am
agree. I
really
agree. My
heavy.
question is, where do you
Hmm.
see, how is the shift? What do you
the
think was
shift
your
the
frequency?
shift for me has been the conscious awareness of where I am in the moment. So it's like I am now aware that okay, I am dwelling into that particular emotion and thought, and bringing it down. So then I consciously try and raise it. It may happen sometimes, it may not happen sometimes. But having said that, it still puts me in this position that where, I mean, reading all these things, and it's good to have the wisdom, and the wisdom is there. We are reading it now, and having read it before also. It's just that I have not been able to apply it very well. So now I feel that at least I have some tools that can help me apply them. And like I said, I'm not it may not always 100% work, but I would say yes, 50-50 sometimes it takes me to that. So the shift has been of the conscious awareness of which state I am in, and what am I really focusing on. So also like working on my thoughts and trying to give energy to the things that I really want to give. Although I myself become the resistant, resistance in this, which also I'm aware of.
Excellent. Yeah, anybody else? We need one more when we start. Anybody?
If nobody else is sharing, I'll share. I think this continuous journey, which started, Arjun, with you, and then you introduced me to Asmin ma'am, and then there was another course I did. But through the power of now, it's coming. It's getting much better. It's like connecting a few dots, especially what the frequency. I knew, okay, that there are these negative frequencies and below the line feelings. But through this book, how you have summarized it in Jack. And so when I look back a year, just briefly, I would say that uh, the basis of all my decision making was based on, a lot of them was based on Jack's, being judgmental and then going below the line, having expectations going below the line, continuous upward downward comparisons below the line, continuous competitiveness, unnecessary competitiveness below the line. So now I think after a year, uh, you know, uh, being consciously aware of how I was excessively trying to control things which were not even in my control by going below the line because of Jack. That awareness has got me into a frequency where when I'm about to go any day on a day-to-day basis, at least I'm aware where I'm going, and then snap, you got to come up, and you have, and then doing this book especially, now that where is this Jack coming from? How is this mind is playing games with you. Earlier you would, before this book, I would imagine that it's me who's going into the Jack, and this is my personality traits, I guess. But now with the differentiation of body, mind, and soul, as I'm learning every day, I'm able to slowly practice and differentiate where this Jack and how, and relate what decisions are coming from the mind, which emotions are affecting me in my soul and my body, and so it's been a great transformation in understanding my own self.
Excellent.
Oh,
Yeah,
thanks.
so these things, if you practice, are possible. There is a simple but powerful self-healing meditation that you can do whenever you feel the need to boost your immune system. It is particularly effective if used when you feel the first symptoms of an illness, but it also works with the illness that are already entrenched if you use it at frequent intervals and with an intense focus. It will also counteract any disruption of your energy field by some form of negativity. However, it is not a substitute for the moment to moment practice of being in the body. Otherwise, its effect will only be temporary. Here it is. When you are unoccupied for a few minutes, and especially last thing at night before falling asleep, and first thing in the morning before getting up, flood your body with consciousness. Close your eyes, lie flat on your back, to choose different parts of your body to focus your attention on briefly at first: hands, feet, arms, legs, abdomen, chest, head, and so on. Feel the life energy inside those parts as intensely as you can. Stay with each part for 15 seconds or so, and then let your attention run through the body like a wave a few times. Feel from feet to head and back again. This only takes a minute or so. After that, feel the inner body in its totality as a single field of energy. hold that feeling for a few minutes. Be intensely present during that time, present in every cell of your body. Don't be concerned if the mind occasionally succeeds in drawing your attention out of the body and you lose yourself in some thought. As soon as you notice that this has happened, just return your attention to the inner body. So you can practice this exercise. It's a nice exercise before going off to sleep, or probably once you get up. Let the breath take you into the body. At times, when my mind has been very active, it has acquired such momentum that I find it impossible to take my attention away from it and feel the inner body. This happens particularly when I get into a worry or anxiety pattern. Do you have any suggestions? If at any time you're finding it hard to get in touch with the inner body, it is usually easier to focus on your breathing first. Conscious breathing, which is a powerful meditation in its own right, will gradually put you in touch with the body. Follow the breath with your attention as it moves in and out of your body. Breathe into the body and feel your abdomen expanding and contracting slightly with each inhalation and exhalation. If you find it easy to visualize, close your eyes and see yourself surrounded by light or immersed in a luminous substance, a sea of consciousness. Then breathe in that light, feel that luminous substance filling up your body and making it luminous also. Then gradually focus more on the feeling you are now in your body. Don't get attached to any visual image. So, you can use these exercises to actually get in touch with that inner body and to, slowly try to get a glimpse of that source to which everybody is connected. But yeah, that's a very conscious way of going, and it's in a very, very deep meditative state. So you can always start with, breathing into your body, taking 7 deep breaths. And whenever the breath comes in, just make sure that your abdomen rises, and when you exhale, that your abdomen contracts. And then slowly start, connecting with each part, spending 15-20 seconds speaking with the part. I mean, the body, once you are in this state and you've done that breath and you have, kind of made that connection with the subconscious, it's beautiful how the body talks to you. Each and every organ will start talking to you. Each and every, and it's actually going to make a lot of sense to you also. But yeah, you need to be very, very sure that yes, it's not that the conscious mind is speaking and you're in that state where you are connected with the subconscious mind. So, whatever is your intent in terms of healing yourself, this is how it works. In a lot of times, I'm also quite surprised. We talk about illnesses and we never talk about what we want. We always talk about what we don't want. चाहे वो fear से आ रहा है, चाहे वो जो मर्जी आ रहा है. It's interesting, a lot of people I come across, they will always be talking about something which they don't want, but they will be talking about it. Why? Why are we giving it energies? You need to give energy to something which you want. Give it energy, na? हर एक चीज में हम लोग इतना नेगेटिव स्फेयर से चलते हैं कि पता नहीं क्या हो जाएगा. Then where is the acceptance? Where is the present moment? Because if there is no acceptance and if there is negativity creeping in, that means you're not in the now. Because you are linking your now with a future event or a past memory.
Is the mind now overpowering you?
Mind overpowering you all the time.
What's
अगर
control
आप
all the time?
present moment में हो, what is negative? Where is the fear? Fear is false evident appearing to be real. वो तो future event है ना. So whenever you feel that you are in, getting entrapped with fear, with negativity, just ask yourself, is there anything wrong with this moment? If no, chill. सांस आ रही है ना, chill. और क्या चाहिए? The moment you put your attention and awareness in a past event, past memory, or a future event, you will you automatically get away, and you get entrapped in all these emotions, and then you start giving it energy, and then they're actually being manifested into your own life. And then once they happen, you come up with this question, or a lot of people come up with this question, why this happened to me? And if you closely look at it, it was actually attracted very nicely into your own space and by you yourself. नेगेटिव पॉजिटिव हमारा थॉट प्रोसेस है. इट्स अ डुअलिटी. एक्नॉलेजमेंट एक्सेप्टेंस हमारा कोर प्रोसेस है. वी आर हियर टू एक्नॉलेज व्हाट इज देयर इन आवर स्पेस, टू लर्न फ्रॉम इट एंड एक्सेप्ट इट as it is. And the moment you get this point and you are able to practice being consciously aware in the present moment and accepting whatever is coming your way as it is, with your mind and your jack at bay, it's total bliss. फिर प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं है ना.
तो अर्जुन इसी को तो रेजिस्टेंस बोलते हैं ना, कि when we, isn't that called resistance, that what we don't want we are going on focusing on that, right?
Resistance,
so tell me,
I would say resistance is better, and non-receptivity. It's a better word.
non-receptivity. So tell me one thing, considering the current scenario of the pandemic and everything, isn't it that we all are collectively unconsciously giving it a lot of energy, and hence it's manifesting more and more? Like, I mean, just
true.
my
very
general
true. Very true.
question.
It did. Corona से लोग इतने नहीं गए जितने, in the sense, there was so much of fear around this whole thing, that the fear was in gripping people, not the actual condition as such.
Yeah, but for example, right now when it's not a very severe wave and a virus which is,
I'll tell you one basic thing. Ask yourself, are you tracking Corona news?
No, not me. I'm not.
Let it be then.
But for example,
bother?
we become extra cautious. We try and do not
यार
do
अपना
this, do
precautions
that.
लो, क्या issue है उसमें? अपने precautions लो. I take a few precautions, but I never see Corona news. It's been good 1.5 years I have not seen Corona news. I don't want to give it energy. I don't know whether I shared it in this group when my cousin got this, and I used to, hey, Corona ki haal hai. Treat him like your friend. Yeah? So that's the energy connection you're giving. Na? He's my friend. So fourth wave everybody had in the entire house. It was only me who was left alone. Entire house. How? I don't know. But yes, हम जिस चीज को अपनी अटेंशन दे रहे हैं, एंड हम जब उसको नॉन एक्सेप्टेंस या नॉन रिसेप्टिविटी में लेके आ रहे हैं ना, तो कहीं ना कहीं at the end of the day, it is we who are responsible. See what happens when a person is no more. Is it that the breath or the prana in the world has finished? No. उसके आसपास सारे लोग जिंदा होंगे, है, but that person is not alive. He has stopped his receptivity. So life, everything is about your receptivity. That is your connection. How strong is your connection? And when we are talking about your attention and your energies, your receptivity is linked to where you are giving your energies. So if you're giving energies to negatives, if you're giving energies to anything, that's the receptivity channel that is being built. Na? See, energy is nothing but वो आग में घी नहीं डालते. आप जितना घी डालोगे उतनी आग आगे आएगी. सो जहां जहां आप वो जिस जिस पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट को आप अपनी एनर्जी दे रहे हो, या जिस जिस पर्टिकुलर फ्लेम को आप वो ऑयल दे रहे हो, that is going to burn more. It's going to be, you know, very, very ferocious also at times. But then who's putting the oil? Who's giving the energy? You yourself. मेरे पास चॉइस है कि मैंने इसको एनर्जी नहीं देनी है, मेरे पास चॉइस है मैंने इसको एनर्जी देनी है। या तो हो हमें ये नॉलेज ना हो, आज हमारे को ये नॉलेज है, वी आर अवेयर, सो दिस नॉलेज इज देयर इन आवर अवेयरनेस कि भैया जिस चीज को आपको अट्रैक्ट करना चाहते हो, जिस चीज को आप एनर्जी दोगे, वो आपकी लाइफ में अट्रैक्ट होगा। अगर वो नेगेटिव आपके हिसाब से है तो वो नेगेटिव होगा, अगर वो पॉजिटिव आपके हिसाब से तो वो पॉजिटिव होगा। Nobody can stop it because you have put that oil in that fire. Why is this whole thing relevant here is basically because हम जो बात कर रहे हैं, we are talking about being present in the present moment, being in the presence, where you're not giving your attention to your past, where you're not giving your attention and energy to your future. You are just enjoying what is as it is. चाहे वो पेन भी दे रहा है, चाहे वो प्लेजर भी दे रहा है. And trust me, the experience on the outside is common to all. But how you are reacting to it, or how you are responding to it, or what kind of energies you are giving to it is absolutely individual based. I'll just share a small example today. I was driving my car, and generally I somehow feel that people want to cross the road. So if you go abroad, they give that respect to pedestrians. So India, that's not the general culture. So I always, अगर मुझे लगता है कि नहीं यार, let's give them 2 seconds, 3 seconds से कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला. So there was this small area, so either my car could go in or there was a motorcycle guy coming from the other side. So मैं रुक गया and I said, you pass. And he said, तू आजा. And he was smiling. And I'm like, thank you Siddharth ji. Thank you ਦੀ ਕੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਜੀ, ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਹੋਗੀ, ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਆਰਾਮ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ. Exact words he said. And I was like, amazing. यार क्या बंदा है ये. मतलब I told him कि तू चले जा, कि it's okay, मेरे को कोई ऐसा वो नहीं है. नहीं सर, नहीं आप आओ, हो सकता है आपकी ज्यादा, ਅਸੀਂ तो वेले बैठे आराम से जा रहे हैं, एंजॉय कर रहे हैं. मतलब अगर ये पंजाब में मैं नॉर्मल अपने सिनेरियो में बात करूं ना, तो इस चीज से लड़ाई भी हो सकती थी. But what I experienced today was totally different.
Like you said, Arjun, the frequency is changing.
Yeah,
People are getting more compassionate.
yeah, they are actually.
And that's just the example of that. And I'm seeing that. And Hema's seeing that. Natanya is seeing that in school with friends. It's actually happening. We were actually talking about this, me and Hema, about an hour back.
So it is. And why it is in your space, evidently, because you are consciously working on your space. Na? You are consciously working on raising your vibrational frequency and giving energy to where is, whatever is it that you want to attract, and trying to work with your jack and accepting things as they are.
Happened with me. मैं कस्टमर के साथ कुछ डील हो रही थी फाइनल. कहता आप इसमें से क्या कमा रहे हो? मैं कहा कुछ नहीं सर, वही 2-4% है. कहता आप ऐसे करो, 2 रुपए और रख लो. अभी ना कहना, जब आपको आपका माल तैयार हो जाएगा ना, तो आप बोलना, मेल डाल देना मुझे, सर फलाना फलाना फ्रेट बढ़ गया है, फलाना फलाना ये हो गया है, 2 रुपए एक्स्ट्रा चाहिए. कमाल हो गया, कस्टमर 2 रुपए एक्स्ट्रा दे रहा है. वो ओके सर, थैंक यू.
See, that's also, हमें क्या चाहिए, that we should be very, very clear. और उस चीज को कैसे अट्रैक्ट करना है, and rather than being flown away with past memories or being totally blown away with what is there in the future, and just enjoying what is there. Price increase hai nahi hai, see, everything has a right price. So kahin na kahin se wo घूम फिर के आ जाएगी. I mean, you talk to me, I am right now of a, let's